It is? Are you sure? Okay, perfect. Okay. And then are you sure it is? Can you help me? Whoa. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my notebook. Hmm. Card comparison. What does this mean? That's weird. Cam? No, I don't know how to do that. Well, a minute ago, I just got an indication that someone's waiting, but I don't see where I allow people to enter. This is my first time doing this on YouTube, Camden. Let me see, I know some people that should be in. All right. Either way, I'm starting. I think I shared it. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I usually do Eventbrite and Zoom. Let me see what I can do to open up. Messages are visible. All right, perfect. I am going to give 2 more minutes for anyone else to come. All right. Text in the chat if you can hear me and see me, please. I got Taylor, Base Hits Media. I'm not familiar with that one. Yes. Would love to know your names. Perfect. Base Hits Media, where are you coming from? I love it. Okay. Perfect. And no video required. I don't even know if it's possible. This is just a new way for me to do things, and it is perfectly fine. There's one person that doesn't have the right thing. What we are, all right. Hi. All right, beautiful. Yes, I am here in Lake Mary. Ethereal quality. Is that you, Carmen? All right, perfect. So if you all want to get out a pen and paper, we're going to start. This is going to be very exciting because I like to make things exciting and fun. And so what I do, I'm just going to introduce myself really quick. I'm a hypnotherapist. And what year are we in? We're in 2026. So I have been doing hypnosis since 2016 and then got my certification in clinical, interpersonal, transpersonal in 2018. Now, what I love to do is just guide people through just letting go of the junk in the past that they've been taught from this lifetime and other lifetimes, right? My belief, and I teach this, like this, I'm not in this, I'm going to be unapologetic. Might not be politically correct, just so you know. I'm just going to be speaking from my heart. That's what I know how to do best, and that is efficient and effective. Now, if what I say isn't resonating with you, that's fine. Take what you want, leave what you don't. That's fine. That's all part of you flexing your free will. Now, my 100% honest understanding of how everything is that we are perfect, whole, and complete just the way we are. Source did not make any mistakes, and that illusion of separation and the illusion of separation from our divinity is created from trauma, sadness, just being told, and believing as children that we're unworthy of love and we're unworthy of unconditional love. And just, as children, we believe things that because we don't have an understanding of what my issue is and what their issue is, right? So our parents, did the best they could with the given resources that they had to raise us. And when we really think about it, in our present day, 2026, those of us that are in our 20s, 30s, and 40s, our parents went through a completely different experience, and most of them did go through even more traumatizing experience from their parents. So that's what I do. It's just teaching the basics, right? It's the understanding of how things work in our subconscious mind and how it translates into our feeling unlovable, unworthy of receiving love. There's a little child inside of us that still, unless it's healed, it still feels like that. It's trapped in the past. And we may see this come out in our relationships when, we're trying to make new friends and we'll just stick with the relationships. When we're trying to make new friends, we're trying to connect with people. we might feel some insecurities coming up from ourselves, right? And a lot of times I notice that people will think, right, that the other person's judging them. They want that person to be their friend, for example, and they're like, I really want that person to be my friend. I want them to hang out with me. And then all of a sudden, some judgments start coming up, and they're like, oh, that person didn't call me at 4 when they said that they would. That's going to trigger insecurity, right? Unless you're healed. And those thoughts will look like, oh, did I say something, in the last conversation that offended them? Are they not vibing with me? Did I not look right when I, was with them? Silly, ridiculous, ego-based, absolutely no basis of truth. The truth is that everyone's having their own experience. That's it. Everyone's having their own experience. So that's where having inner peace begins, knowing where you begin and others begin, right? So where do they end and I begin? So understanding logically how the subconscious mind can be triggered by thinking insecurities. Most of my clients do come to me being the core reason is because they're not feeling confident. They feel judged. Feeling judged is something that as children, there's a certain age, we actually, the mind actually starts beginning to wonder why it doesn't fit in, why it's not good enough. It tries to logically justify why it feels unworthy. And then here we are as adults dealing with the same thing most of the time, right? So I want us to just tune in really quick. And we're tuning in with ourselves. I know it's been a big day. It's Wednesday. And an important thing to do is just to allow our mind to quiet. Now, I have been trained in Kundalini yoga and techniques that helped me so much because I used to suffer from ADHD, 2 different versions depending on my environment. But the interesting thing is that you can always come to a state of peace when you need to. But forcing it is never going to work, right? So let's just do something. I want you to just get comfortable if you can. This is only going to take like a minute and a half. I'm not going to break down the science for you because why? If it works, it works. So would you just bring your hand to your chest? You're going to gently press down, or you can bring your index finger and your thumb together. Now you're going to apply about 3 pounds of pressure. Okay, however you want. I'm going to do my heart today. I was in a lot of traffic on my way here, back to my home office, and I am just ready to feel good. And that's the great thing about feeling good is the more you do it, the more you practice it, the more it becomes your normal. But in the beginning, it can be very awkward when you're just like, oh, calm, you're trying to be in that state. But then once you get into that state more regularly, you're going to notice that you're actually going to crave, I'm going to need that 5 minutes, this hour, when you're at work, just to get in that calm state. So I invite you, if you're not driving, just close your eyes and you can focus your closed eyes on the center between your 2 eyebrows and slightly up, okay? And just what I prefer to do, and you can do this, I will walk you through it. It's called the 4-count breath. Now we breathe in for 4 counts. We hold it for 4 counts. Then we exhale for 4 counts. And then we hold out for 4 counts. And then we breathe in for 4 counts. This does a lot. We're not going to express what it does, but there's lots of science that supports why it creates brain-heart coherence. So when you're ready, I'll count you in. Take a deep breath in for 4 counts. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Hold out. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 2, and 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Now just continue on your own, and I want you to just enjoy any breath that you prefer. And once again, you're just going to allow yourself to tune into the sound of my voice as if listening to your favorite song. You're just gently allowing yourself to be present by gently pressing down on your center of your chest. Your eyes can be closed if it's appropriate. Remember, you're perfect, whole, and complete just the way you are. Now, I give you appreciation, and I want you to appreciate yourself by simply showing up. Here you are, you showed up. It's not an easy feat sometimes, it really isn't. There was a lot that brought you to this point to allow you to show up at 8 o'clock in the evening on a Wednesday, and you did it. And I want you now, you continue your breath, but I want you to just imagine and think about a couple of things about your day today that would make you laugh. They were silly. Or maybe you've got some things that were stressing you out. I want you to look at it from the perspective of, that's interesting. Or, can't believe that was made such a big deal of. Because the truth is, here you are, you're being present, and you're working on the big picture of you. You're working on not the temporary you. You're working on the you that is ever present. You're working on just existing and knowing that existing is all you need to do. Think about children. They wake up for their day, and most of the time they're excited, and they're just curious what the day is going to bring. How's it going to happen? Are they going to play in the mud? Is mom going to make them pancakes or waffles? What's going to happen? And they're excited. They just dive in full force. And then it'll be bedtime. And they're so excited for the day. They don't want to go to sleep. And finally, they sleep and they wake up and they're excited for a new day. They reset. The young children reset, and we're going to train ourselves to be able to reset our mind and our body, because our nervous system needs to rest. Heaven knows it needs to rest. But nothing can happen without you giving it permission. Now let's take a deep breath in. And say out loud or to yourself, and as you exhale, I am loved. And take another deep breath in whenever you're ready. And as you exhale, say out loud or to yourself, I am important. God created each and every one of us. We contribute to the collective consciousness. And you're doing an amazing job by showing up. And when you're ready, let's take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to say out loud or to yourself whatever word comes to your mind. Happiness. Good. Now breathe normally. Allow your hands to come down. And I want you to type in the chat on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 feeling completely relaxed, 10 feeling tense, How are you feeling? Or you can just give me one word if you just want to stay in this nice vibe. One word of how you're feeling. I know I'm feeling so much better. Sovereign. I love that. And we've had a few sessions together. Tranquil. Beautiful. Yes. Tranquil is so breathing in. I am that fresh air. I am that water that pours through me. The golden experience. Relaxing. Beautiful. Bass hits media. I love it. I love it. Now, since there's only a few of us here, this is perfect. Now, I am able to do commands for the subconscious mind to bring you and to clear numerous things. What I had set up for us today is actually focusing on clearing out one conflicting thought. Now, what is conflicting? It's a belief that causes thoughts, and then thoughts, beliefs, and all that. They work in a where's my tattoo here? Infinite thing between the thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and all that jazz, right? So when we understand how the mind works, it's no longer the monster under our bed, right? So I'm just going to go over inner conflict and what that means. The inner conflict is going to cause noises in our brain, right? For example, if I want to prove to my company that I am great at working with people and I want to do a presentation to prove it, right? My brain, freezes, right? And then I start hearing thoughts, right? This is just an example. It doesn't actually happen for me, thank goodness. But the mind will be like, oh my God, the moment is coming when I'm going to have to prove myself. And then, what if I fail? It's going to come up with all the worst case scenarios. What if the computer doesn't work? Right when I'm there with my clicker and the slides aren't working properly. And what if I forget, what I'm going to say? Right? So the subconscious mind is actually created to protect you, right? Now, as a child, so this is how this scenario would play out. And I want you to think about how this scenario might have played out in your daily life, right? So in this scenario, the inner conflict is, I want to present in front of people and I want to be good at sharing information with a group of people. And then there's a part of you, probably you haven't, programmed since childhood, that's in your subconscious mind, that part of you that says, oh no, what if we fail? What if we look stupid? What if things don't work out? And what if people don't accept me anymore? And what if they don't like me anymore? Right? So there's literally a part of you that is fragmented off. And as a child, perhaps that child was trying to express something to their parent, and their parents like, oh my God, just stop. I don't have time for this. Just spit it out, Jerry. Just spit it out, Sarah. Just tell me what it is. Now that child may create a program in the subconscious mind that says, oh my gosh, you need to hurry up and say what you're going to say. Otherwise, they're going to get angry at you. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to listen to you. And now that gets carried and it associates to a lot of everything else, right? So can you see, I want you to type in the chat, can you see how, if you as a child, a sponge, who really just wanted to express something to your parent and they were like, hey, come on, spit it out. Let's do this. I need to just tell me what you're trying to say, Sarah. And then you can't. And then the subconscious mind is like, oh my God, I really suck at talking. I really suck when there's feeling pressure in front of people and I'm trying to talk to people. Can you all see how that would play out in our adult life? Type in the chat. I'm curious. Thank you, Taylor, for you making mistakes. Now, for the rest of you, because I can actually gear this class towards all of you, is let me know, the rest of you, what is it that you deal with like on a daily basis or a weekly basis that you feel like you want to do it and there's an inner conflict that says, no, we can't because. I am so excited. I love y'all so much. And so what we're going to do in this class while y'all are thinking of that, now I'm going to give you some examples as well. I worked out at the gym today, so my legs are, I'll give you all some examples how this can play out with money as well. So say there's a part of you that, really wants money and you can't seem to make more than $80,000 a year. And, but your experience, perhaps you should justifiably being able to make more money, right? We've got 20-year-olds that are, not even leaving their house and they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so it's definitely possible this day and age. It definitely is possible to make more money easily. Trust me, I know. With me, it's organization. So if a person wants to make a lot of money, but say, as there's oftentimes a fear. This is what a lot of people have when they're capped out, and they tend to only make a certain amount of money year after year, even though they want to make more. In the subconscious mind, which is 95%, and I'm not joking, 95% of everything that we do, Joe Dispenza, who is the leading subconscious, not literature, but scientific, he's got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of studies done where people believe something and it translates into their life. It actually changes their physical body. And then when that belief is changed, which can happen very rapidly, when that belief is changed, that's on the subconscious level, then the person's body, that present experience, changes as well. So when we change our belief system, because 95% of what we do is in the subconscious mind, it's the unseen, right? We can actually see it by our life and our behavior. And if we wanted something to be accomplished in goals, if the goal wasn't accomplished, there's a reason. Sometimes it's divinely guided, just wasn't the time. Most of the time we're preventing ourselves from having it because a part of us, our child part of us, doesn't believe we should or could have it. Pardon me. Now, when it comes to the money thing, someone's like, hey, my Uncle Joe and my parents were always talking about how money is stressful. Money is a bad thing. Now the person, as an adult, we might believe that money is bad, right? So that's another inner conflict that's very common. Yes, motivating yourself to exercise, making mistakes. All right, perfect. What we're going to do, we're going to do MAP, which is reprogramming the subconscious mind, but not requiring hypnosis. It uses a different process. It uses the same process, but slightly different, which is why we're able to do it without being in a hypnotic state. I'm not going to go into the science of it, even though I usually do, and I really love to, but I want to get us to be healed. That's it, right? Now, predispositions. Now, what we're going to do is, number one, just allow yourself to, if you have a pen and paper, write down that one thing that you want to be cleared. All right. Because we're just going to work on what your specific thing is. What's my specific thing? Social media causes disorganization for me. So I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna walk you through it. All I need you to do right now is just pick your one thing. Love it. Let's do it. Yes. All right. Motivating exercise and making mistakes, whatever it is, pick one. That's what we'll work on. Base hits media. What are you going to pick? I'm curious. Your one thing that you want to be cleared. Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm just tuning in right now. I love you all so much. All right. First, because just realized a few of you had not had a map session with me. So map is Make Anything Possible, and it's already helped hundreds of thousands. I want to say that it's at least 1 million. I know it's been like 20 years, but it's more popular in Europe. It's coming to the US, thank goodness. It's great for getting over phobias, and it's treating, parts, right? So if you just want to breathe and relax, we don't have to think of anything right now. I am just going to do the introductory part of the session, so your subconscious mind will understand what we're going to be working with today. Now, the subconscious mind speaks in metaphors. It is not linear. It doesn't understand things in a linear perspective. Linear meaning time, right? It's structured in a very different way, which is why, when you think of the Bible and you think of, traditions that have been carried on for thousands of years, they're oral, they're told through stories. Because when we tell stories, those stories symbolize something different to each one of us. And that's how the subconscious mind is. So we can only understand as much of a story and the morals of a story that we can grasp, right? Like, say we're watching, a Disney movie, and our 5-year-old's going to get something going to believe that women need to be beautiful. First, bad things might happen, then they're going to be saved by Prince Charming, and everything's going to be fantastic, right? That's what the 5-year-old's thinking. Now, as adults, after we've already learned that that is not true, we are going to watch the movie Cinderella again, and we're going to like, man, that was brutal. Like, they took advantage of her, and that's just, whatever negative belief we have acquired from our lifetime, we're going to project that from what we're getting from the story of Cinderella, right? Anyway, so that's the subconscious mind. So I'm just going to give the subconscious mind now a beautiful metaphor. But first, I do need your permission to work with your subconscious mind to heal and treat memories. So if you'll just type in the box or just yes, thank you, whatever it is, because everything is done with permission, right? We're sovereign beings. And if we don't feel sovereign, it's just because we have beliefs that made us think that we're not, but we are. Wonderful, wonderful. Or you could just say out loud if you're not feeling like typing. Now, we're just going to remind all the parts that getting more satisfaction, having less pain is the main reason for treating and integrating parts. Now, if it sounds like I'm reading a script, it's because I am uh, for this part, right? Um, it's part of the method. So the superconscious. Now, the superconscious and high self, for me, I always assign the high self to oversee all of the healing for the mind, body, and spirit. And, the high self treats and heals the trauma parts in the appropriate times, right? So the subconscious mind needs to be healed in a particular process. And I'm not doing the script, it's boring. So just like a a field, like you want your subconscious mind to be a nice playing field that's flat, and then like gopher holes come up, like, and then we have to clear it back. So the subconscious mind is much like that, and memories are like that. When we have a garden, for example, and I love this example of the subconscious mind is a garden, and each one of us has our own garden. And when we haven't been taking care of our garden, weeds can grow up. These weeds are belief systems, they're false beliefs. And we want to get to the truth of our garden. We want to have healthy soil. We want to make sure we have, sun and water available to our beautiful garden. And we want to have flowers and plants and wonderful lemon trees, whatever our favorites are, and birds and butterflies flying around. We want to have a space, and we want to nurture our garden. But the interesting thing is, as I said, 95% is unseen. It was created when we were unaware, right? So, what's so beautiful is that as we get older, we realize I want to have a better life. I desire to have a better garden. And then we go on a healing journey, right? That's our way of flexing. I want to be sovereign. I don't want to be like my parents. Or perhaps I want to be like my parents and I'm not, right? Whatever it is, we're going to have something that happens in our life that's going to cause us to realize that we want to be better. And how I put it as the high self is our master gardener, right? What is our high self? Our high self is that aspect of us that isn't traumatized, that knows it's perfect, whole, and complete because it was created by God, Source, the Creator, and it knows that we are creating our reality, right? We're co-creating with our divine self. And right now, most of us are on a journey of creating a life that's meant to guide us to realize that we're divine and perfect, whole, and complete, right? So let's get that process flowing a little faster by clearing out the subconscious mind, those roots, those false beliefs, right? So the subconscious mind removes negative emotions and pain from the trauma, replaces it with neutral or positive emotions. And then during the treatment process, the high self and the subconscious and the conscious mind, they all work together beautifully. Now, the high self will treat memories and all associations and dissociations in the appropriate time. Now, I don't know about you, but I have no desire to relive any trauma or know exactly why, I am not functioning at 100% all the time, right? I don't really need to know. I just want it to be cleared. Now, if you feel that way, this is for you, right? I, instruct that the subconscious mind and the high self overseeing the healing does not need you to be aware of any of the reasons that you had any negative experiences, right? Um, so I also want you to know that once these aspects of you are healed, past life, present life, future life, once they're healed, they're going to be brought to a high vibration and then reintegrated into your full main personality. You're going to feel more complete. Most people, actually, every client that I have, I could just say that. When we do an inner child healing, for example, we go back in time, heal that inner child, give it the love that it wants and deserves, and then we grow it up to the present day life until it's reabsorbed, and we just imagine reabsorbing it into our present life. So we can do this. Now, the imagination is very powerful. Here's a little scientific fact here, that they have found that the brain itself can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and an experience that actually happened. What does this mean? That you are the key, right? So let's imagine away. And I want you to do one more thing before we begin with our commands. And I invite you to give permission. High self, now everything is inside of you. When I say high self, now I know that I had this misunderstanding because when I was younger and I was like, high self, where is it at? Where is it out? No, high self is inside of you. It's the you, say, after you're already healed and you're already feeling perfect, whole, and complete. That's your high self. That's the you, where the healing's already done, right? And so that's your high self, and just give yourself permission to be healed, because that's where healing happens, and that's where the healing happens. I give myself permission. So I want you to say out loud to yourself, I give myself permission to heal and be healed. Okay. Now I'm not doing this. I'm just facilitating, right? Just going along the instructions, guiding you so that you can allow yourself to be healed. Just taking a moment. All right, we connect with our high self only. We connect to source and source only. Now you can just breathe and just listen to the sound of my voice like you're listening to your favorite song. All right, I'm going to give some instructions to the subconscious mind, and your high self is overseeing it. This is your garden. I'm excited. So I welcome all predispositions that don't want treatment, don't know anything about it, or are afraid of it, or are curious but aren't sure that they want treatment. Now, parts, you were all created and learned your job in the first 5 years of your life. And now I invite you all to give love to all aspects of yourself, right? That little girl, that little boy. Just extend love to that part of you, even if it's giving it some water, some watermelon, a popsicle, a hug. Just give it love. Let it know that you're there. Now, those aspects of us do want to have more satisfaction and less pain in life. And now that you are taking responsibility for those parts of you that felt unloved, that didn't grow and evolve, you're taking responsibility by giving them love and affection. You're using your imagination. Oftentimes people will feel lighter in their body. I know I felt lighter just in this moment in my heart. In all parts, we know that you may have felt abandoned, unloved, or neglected. We are now extending love and affection to you. High self, clear and treat any and all discordant energies through all space and time, through all minds, all bodies, past life, present life, future life, and all parallel lives. We'll do this now. Any and all discordant energies that needs to be resolved, while sleeping, that will be done as well. And high self, treat all predispositions to want to be treated one after the other with total respect and reinforce their positive coping behaviors before joining them with their opposite pair. And treat each trauma associated with the creation of the predispositions and do a massive change history and everything after that. Just breathe. Now, another important part. Now, I want you to consider what it is that you would want it resolved, right? Lack of motivation. You want to exercise. You don't want to be so judgmental because you're afraid of making mistakes. Whatever it is, just allow that to exist. Now, as I mentioned earlier, our present day adult issues are caused from childhood, right? And it becomes what we call a mindset barrier, which causes that inner conflict. And we're going to consider this unfinished communications. Unfinished communications tend to be something that we, as children, wanted to communicate to our caregivers or our parents, and we weren't able to convey what we wanted to say clearly, right? Now, once you type in the chat if you want, if there's anything that comes to your mind about unfinished communications, for me, I just wanted my dad to spend more time with me. His way of spending time with me was taking me to watch him play sports and watch Touched by an Angel and really sports on TV. Now I know now as an adult that was the only way, because he still does it. He doesn't know how to. He's not the best at communicating. His way of communicating with me is, April, you want to watch Rocky? And now I know it's not that he doesn't want to watch something I want to watch. It's just the only language he knows is Rocky and sports, right? And so I watch Rocky again, and we watch Highway to Heaven again. But as a child, I felt that he didn't know me, he didn't understand me, didn't love me. So that was unfinished communications strongly for me when I was going through my healing process of mindset barriers that I felt like people, as an adult, I felt my relationships, they weren't loving me, that they weren't hearing me, they weren't understanding me. It was all because I just thought that my dad and I spoke different languages. And I had that belief that he wasn't listening. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, as you're thinking of whatever it might be, and honestly, whatever comes to your mind, that's what's meant to be there, right? It's just gonna associate and activate the appropriate thought. That's what this healing process does. As you think of this mindset barrier of unfinished communications with a person or group, Focus on the feeling of having it. Like, what does it feel like? What does it look like? What was that experience for you? Allow all the sensations to come up, including any emotions that might arise of fear of what might happen if it was revealed, right? And yes, thank you, ethereal quality, for sharing that. Growing up, you didn't want a relationship like your parents. Yeah, I mean that's something that you would feel very judged about if you said it, right? Um, you don't, as children, we don't really naturally want to cause shame, right? We don't want people to feel bad. We don't want our parents to feel bad. Sometimes we're feeling so bad as children, we just can't help it, right? And so, high self, please treat all the memories associated to and with this experience, and then do a massive change history and everything after that. Massive change history meaning you're treating the memories in 1, 2, and 3, which are the memories before birth, before the age of 5, after, and between 5 and 10, and as adults. All the memories associated to and with this experience, and then reinforce with positive coping mechanisms before healing them and bringing them and all of that energy back in alignment with I am perfect, whole, and complete. Just allow this to breathe. Now I'm going to be quiet because we're just letting the subconscious mind understand what's happening. Now, as this command, this instruction is being done by your subconscious mind, I'm going to actually allow my high self to connect with your high self. And I just want you to flex your sovereign free will. I want you to consider your high self as the master gardener. It's that aspect of you that is already healed. It already knows the journey that you've been through. It knows the original thoughts and causes of your belief systems that are limiting you, and the ones that they're ready for you to realize that you're only limiting yourself. Nothing's limiting you. And as we experience and allow ourselves to heal and clear out these weeds and these false beliefs, these false mindsets, then and it's healing those aspects of us that are stuck in the past, right? We're giving them love, not judging. There are no bad parts, I think is the name of the book. That was a book that was really helpful for me to understand how to help others. There's no bad parts. Everything just like if we think of aspects of us and that inner conflict, that inner conflict is just parts of us that aren't understanding how beneficial and good it will be when we are feeling perfect, whole, and complete. Some people don't want to change because they're afraid to change, because we don't want to leave behind friends or family that are in believe that the mindsets of our less evolved self, right? Oftentimes our parents are holding on to belief systems, victim mindsets. And as we evolved, it can be harder to be around people who are stuck in a victim mindset, who are always justifying their pain and justifying gossiping. It can be harder to be around people like that, and we know that on a subconscious level, and we know it logically, most of us. That's another big thing that will cause us to not want to change. Yes. Thank you, Ethereal Qualities at OMG. Yes, victim mindset. It's true. It's true. When we have a victim mindset, the mind is literally looking for reasons to, and this is for everything positive as well. So when we have a mindset of like, you know what, everything good always happens to me. And we're going to look, our mind, our subconscious mind is going to be like, oh, yes, let's look at all the good things. Look at that butterfly. Look at that 2 cents I just found on the ground. Score, right? And when we really have a belief that's actually a belief in our subconscious mind, then our view, our perspective will support it. And it supports it by you seeing what is in alignment with that belief. Like, I am lucky. That is, let me know, because I think that's what I want to do next week, because I'm going to do this next Wednesday. I'm going to do it for the next 4 Wednesdays, this class at 8. So let me know what you think about this. I want us to set and clear and align us with I am lucky for our next class. This one, we're giving ourselves permission to clear out the junk, and then we're going to replant some new perspectives, a new garden. Now we're going to do another I'm going to do another command. So command, instructions. I call them commands because at this point, I know that that I'm supported, and I enjoy not being a victim, right? If I'm making choices, that's my choice, right? That's my choice. That's on me, right? And I enjoy that. And so when I say command, it's because, you know what? I've already decided what I want. I want this 100%. I want everything to get out of the way. Now I know that the universe is working for me. So when I make a decision, the universe is going to give it to me. Now, if I'm in a victim mindset, the universe is going to give that to me too. If I'm in the lucky mindset, I'm feeling lucky, then that's going to give, the universe gives that to me as well. And disorganization. So we're going to do, one of the tricks of the subconscious mind is when we want to accomplish something, but we have a belief system in our subconscious mind that doesn't want to accomplish it. Say, for example, you want to lose weight and you want to stop eating so many cookies, right? And then you're like, I'm going to do this. I got this. I'm just not going to have cookies in the house. It's going to be awesome. And I'm just going to magically not want cookies. There's a big part of you that has a lot of memories. Say, for example, when you were a kid, Grandma would reward you after you helped her dust the house with cookies. Cookies meant you did a great job and you were happy. And now you've got 30 years of associations of memories that says, you know what, cookies are really good. They really are. It's true, right? And so that little part of you, that little 5% that's struggling, and it's just like, I got this. You're going to lose motivation. You're going to lose momentum very quickly because it's exhausting. You're pulling tug of war with 95% of you that has beliefs that were supported for 30 something years. And now 5% of you is like, I got this. It's like, no, you don't. You're going to get tired very quickly and you change your mind because it's just easier, right? And so that's where we want to understand the mechanics, and really just, we can ask our high self, hey, high self, this is a simple solution that you can do. Hey, I want to work out today. Okay, high self, come to a place in your heart, right? You want to be heart-centered as much as you can, feeling peace. And this is how it looks for me. I just take some deep breaths in, like, you know what? I connect with my high self. My high self only, connect with source and source only, because I want to connect with the self of me that's already healed, right? and say, I want to get up and go to the gym and I want to enjoy it and it's going to feel good. Like, all right, high self, do anything. I give you permission, do anything and everything that aligns me with. In the morning, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to be motivated and I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to feel good about it. Do everything that aligns me with that and clear out anything else. If anything needs to be addressed consciously, let me know. Otherwise, clear it out 100%. Make sense? Type in the chat so I know. Does that make sense to y'all? Because what tends to happen is the subconscious mind will cause you to get distracted. And it's a way of disorganizing you to prevent you from accomplishing something that's not in your belief system. So, for example, with the cookies, if you want to go and not eat cookies, 95% of you are like, we're going to eat the cookies. It's going to come up with reasons of why you need those cookies, right? Oh, it was somebody's birthday. I don't want to be rude. Got to eat the cookie. Oh, you know what? I got to make the cookie and I got to bring the cookie for Sarah. It's her birthday. And I would be rude if I didn't eat it, right? So that's disorganization, right? That the subconscious mind does it on purpose. Now, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Thinking about what you're saying, still here. Damn cookies. I know, right? All right, perfect. So what we're going to do now, I want you to think about, once again, whatever it is that comes to your mind, that's the exact thing that's meant to come into your mind. I'm going to do a disorganization procedure. This manages any parts and structures that cause disorganization within your active experience. And this is going to cause you to feel more focus. And high self, please copy any blocks to the memories into a safe space and diagnose the safest way to find what's blocking the treatment and communication process. Once solved, let the copies dissolve and please treat the original memories, the barriers associated with it, and then do a massive change history and everything after that on any associated traumas after that. And this is done through all space and time, past life, present life, future life, and parallel lives. Just allow yourself to breathe. You can close your eyes or have them open, whatever you want. And high self, tag and treat any memories causing disorganization. Tag and treat. My high self is connected in the collective consciousness. Your high self is part of a committee that wants to be even better than it is now. All of us, it is natural as creations of Source. Source creates, it created us in its image, so we naturally want to create as well. With that comes evolving. So all divine creatures naturally want to evolve. That's my belief, and I'm sticking to it. We naturally want to evolve. Even plants, they go in their seasons, and it can be considered that each season it's evolving. Even when it's dying, it's evolving. It's changing. High self, tag and treat any fear or resistance causing disorganization. Now I want you to know you deserve to be healed. And I want you to imagine on a daily basis And I know I said it was going to be an hour. We're just going to, if y'all are busy, it's going to be 5 more minutes, and then we're going to have a replay. All right. In superconscious, I self tag and treat any I can't memory structures. I self tag and treat any traumas affecting the association and dissociation processes. And I self give extra love and support. Align their chakras, clear out any and all discordant energies, clear and cut all cords, and close any and all portals that are not necessary and are not for the greatest good. I self clear vows, contracts, agreements that are not for their greater good. This is all done with absolute unconditional love, of course, and always in alignment with divinity. Nothing can be changed that isn't in divine alignment. I'll explain that in just a moment. Hi, self, please do the sentence procedure on the ideal phrase. I am clear, focused, and motivated. And reinforce as many ideal behaviors, beliefs, and emotions associated with this phrase. And then, when appropriate, do a massive change history and everything after that. It's taking a moment to clear. I didn't forget about you. Beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm going to provide a series of commands. So all you need to do is breathe and listen passively. We're going to, like all energies, we're going to close it out and seal in the goodness. I self do a complete massive change history, treat all the memories and all levels of memory 1, 2, and 3, including any systems of body and mind, and align the quantum field, the highest vibration possible, and do this each and every day and each and every night. Now, most of the healing happens while you're sleeping. I self-ground all the memories we've touched today and reconnect them into the matrix of the universe. And between now and the next session, tag and treat any disempowering memory or part, and then replace and reinforce self-empowering memories in their place. Bring everything in alignment with divine, pure white light. Now I invite you all to visualize a beautiful light coming into the top of your head. This could be a white light, a gold light. And this light is passing through all of your energy centers. It's like fresh spring water is washing through you, clean, clear, perfect, whole, and complete. You are divine, perfect, whole, and complete just the way you are. Everything else is an illusion. Now, as we give our high self and our subconscious mind permission to heal, our high self will continue to clear any and all associated memories and dissociated aspects and parts in the appropriate time. And now I'm just going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to 3, we're just all going to experience and share with me. One, as this energy is just sealing in, you are a beautiful, in a cocoon of light. You are strong, courageous, and protected. You are so strong, courageous, and protected. 1, 2, 3. Now, I would love to hear any takeaways or experiences in the chat. I know I set a minute thing so that the chats are 1 minute. Beautiful. Ethereal quality. I feel very relaxed. Now, how does your brain feel? I know how when I feel, I'm like, after I've had a good clearing, it feels less chatty, quieter, like I was just at the beach. All right, now I want you all I invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So that's going to allow you to have notification and turn on the notifications so that you can have beautiful. And Taylor Brown says, thank you for this reintroduction to connecting. I got right back into it. You good? See, it's just like riding a bicycle. I love y'all so much. And yes. I know, right? Like less chatty is a very good way of explaining it. Where it's like, I remember when I first started doing particular healing, that was like concerned for a minute. I do remember that. I was like, why is my mind so quiet? Like, is everything going to be okay if I'm not talking to myself all the time? Right? Like, what do you do with that without the inner conflict? Right? So what you do is you make goals and just make a goal. That's it. And just do it and be grateful that you did it. So go to the gym, don't eat that cookie, be like, I did it. Right? And celebrate the wins. I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe so that you all can join me back here and get notifications. I am going to do this, as I said, for the next 4 Wednesdays at 8 as we clear out the subconscious blocks and align us with our high self. All right. I thank you all for being here. Thank yourself for being here. And I will see you soon. Yes. Look forward to next Wednesday as well. All right, y'all. Enjoy your evening.